Hi everyone, this is Justin again at Voices for Voices. Welcome to another episode of our show. We are grateful, thankful for you joining us on this episode uh, as well as all of our over 290 plus episodes, which we recommend that you take a look at and bet you'll be able to find at least one other episode that draws an interest uh, for you, and we're grateful and thankful for all the love and support that you and others have given us to help us persevere through some tumultuous, some rough waters, and it's because of you that we're making it through. And we just, uh, words really can't describe how much we appreciate each and every one of you that has been a part of Voices for Voices. Uh, Whether you've watched or listened for a millisecond of one of our shows, if you've donated your hard-earned money, as we are a 501c3, and if you just supported and support our mission to uh, have people like yourselves and others share their voice, or a voice of somebody that they know. That's what it's all about, is helping as many people as possible, and we can't do that without you. So if you can give us the big thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, follow, all those are free things to do. They're easy to do, and it helps us uh, be able to continue reaching more individuals on our quest to help 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. So thank you very much. This just really just humble the impact that we're making, the individuals, the groups, the organizations, dignitaries, uh, not only here in the United States, but across the world. Just really incredible. So thank you for uh, making Voices for Voices what we are. And we did a earlier episode with the San Diego County District Attorney, Summer Stephan, and that was a very, very powerful interview. I would recommend going back and watching or listening to that. Very knowledgeable, very succinct, very specific with what uh, the topics that we covered and talked through. And it, one of those big topics is, sex, human trafficking happening in San Diego County and other parts of California and other parts of the United States and other parts of the world. But she was specifically talking about San Diego County, big event, Comic-Con, that's just wrapping up uh, here uh, today, earlier today. It wrapped up, and the huge event brings people from a lot of walks of life, uh, from a lot of places across the United States, as well as it draws people from across the world. And with large events comes the potential of crime and things like that to occur. And her big message was and still is not just for Comic Con. It just so happens that Comic-Con, San Diego, taking place when we did our interview and when it dropped. Uh, but she's talking about all year round that, if you're buying and selling children, like she said in the interview, like you're buying and selling a piece of pizza, and the state of California only gives a slap on the wrist, and a slap on the wrist is really nothing when you think of what individuals do and the activity that they undertake when they are buying and selling people, specifically minors under the age of 18, 16, 17-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12. Uh, there are just people out there that have done that, and we hope that it doesn't happen ever again. Uh, it just seems that it still does. And DA Summer Stephan was mentioning how she supports, I believe it is called it's the Assembly Bill. I'm pulling it. Assembly Bill 379. And so this is in the state of California. We would like to see this across the United States and across the world. But for the talks and the ideas and comments for our show today, we're going to be talking about specifically California. Uh, and so, what Assembly Bill 379 in the state of California is, if you don't know, so Assembly Bill, so I'll call it AB for short sometimes. And that just means Assembly Bill. So AB 379 is and will protect our children from human trafficking. And I'm gonna quote the DA's office in San Diego County here. End quote. In California, children and teens are bought for sex and laws, and they do not sufficiently protect them. Assembly Bill 379 will protect our children by holding those who buy teens for sex accountable and increasing resources for human trafficking victims. It directly supports mental health and shelter services for victims. By passing AB 379, California draws a clear line protecting our children, stopping buyers, supporting victims. In one way, you can help support the passage of this Assembly Bill 379, which, oh, by the way, sits on the desk of California Governor Gavin Newsom. And according to our uh, our episode with San Diego County DA Summer Stephan, this legislation has been sitting on California Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for quite some time. It sounds like years. That's a long time to be sitting on the desk of anybody, let alone the California governor whose support and signature could help bring this bill to fruition. If you or somebody you know want to call the governor and urge him to sign Assembly Bill 379 to end human trafficking, you can do so at area code 916-445-2841. That is 916-445-2841. And again, to reiterate from our episode, which I believe it was the episode, right? Number wise of ours. I believe it was the one right before this. So if you look in the 290s of our episodes, you'll find that interview very powerful, very moving. Wish we had more time. Uh, DA Summer Stephan just has so much energy, so much passion about this and for this. And so I'll just reiterate what one of her one of her comments was during our episode. Quote, and I've been fighting for the last 10 years to change the law in California so that buying of human beings for sexual exploitation, especially who are children, 16, 17-year olds that can't consent under the law. But our law, as it stands right now, makes it a misdemeanor to purchase them like they were a hamburger or a slice of pizza. That is very moving. And so we urge California Governor Gavin Newsom to pass this, to put your autograph, your signature on this bill to make it legal to make these changes where it would make the purchasing and selling of human beings, regardless of the age, it would make that a felony, not a misdemeanor. And felonies are, when we look at degrees of crime, felonies are a higher degree, meaning they're more serious. And so the, potential penalties uh, can be much greater with the felony than with a misdemeanor. Uh, and so that takes us to what one of our most recent TikTok videos was about. And we're gonna continue to share this. We're gonna continue the invitation. And so for those that haven't checked out our TikTok video, uh, and it's also YouTube short. It's on our also on our Rumble channel, Voices for Voices, uh, as well as we posted on Facebook and Instagram, and we posted the link on X, as well as Threads. So that's been out there. I don't know if it's quite probably about 24 hours. It's been out. By the time we get this episode processed and we drop it, um, and so in that video we do a little bit of that summarizing that we just did here on this show, this particular episode about Assembly Bill 379, how it has been sitting on California Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for, according to San Diego County DA Summer Stephan, many, many years. Uh, for whatever reason, California Governor Gavin Newsom has not signed it. So I don't know if somebody needs to give him a pen. Maybe the pens he has, they're not working. They're out of ink. Uh, and so I would ask a staffer or two to find a pen that has ink that is able to work, that is able to have California Governor Gavin Newsom write his name, his autograph on this legislation, Assembly Bill 379. So this is sitting on Gavin Newsom's desk. You know, a lot of times we'll talk about different different ideas of what we would what we would prefer, what we would like changed. Uh, and so it starts with the idea or the reason, the why, like why are we doing this? And then we get to the point of okay, what's the legislative process? Does it go through? Do we start and need signatures? Then do we need to vote on it, or do we need the uh, local count, local city council, township council? Do we need the Senate and House for a particular state? And talking about the United States specifically right now, or is it the case like this, where all those hoops have been jumped through, all those boxes have been checked, and the last box to check for this Assembly Bill 379 in the state of California is for California Governor Gavin Newsom to put his autograph on his legislation. It's on his desk. Uh, and so there, I think as a human being, not just what San Diego County DA Summer Stephan thinks, but there's a lot of other people that think the same way. That buying and selling of humans for any reason, especially minors that are under the age of 18, but even if they are 18 or 19 or 21, the age in the end doesn't matter. If you're buying and selling a human being, that's called trafficking, and that should be a felony everywhere, not a misdemeanor like it is in the state of California. And so that's why we're spending so much time talking about this topic, because I can't get over the fact that this legislation is sitting on the governor's desk, who says, and actually on his web page and different social media, has the hashtag California for all. Well, I would argue and say, okay, Gavin, okay, Governor Gavin Newsom, okay, State of California, State of California has spoken. So when you say California for all, well, all of California has spoken and said, we think the buying and selling of humans needs to be a felony, and we need to take this seriously, and we need to crack down on it. But yet we have one person, one California Governor Gavin Newsom, who, I've try to cut some slack to him, uh, because I don't know every single inner working of this. But after speaking to San Diego County DA Summer Stephan, who is an awesome person, passionate, wants to help people, and it was a blessing to have her spend any time with us. And so after our conversation, I learned more about Assembly Bill 379 and how it sat on the governor's desk for so long, for years, that there is still the hope California Governor Gavin Newsom does what we think is the right thing, which is to sign those pieces of paper to and pass this Assembly Bill 379 in the state of California to make it not just illegal to buy and sell human beings, no matter what age, no matter what for, but to make it a felony and not a misdemeanor. And so what I'd like to really hone in now uh, are two areas. The first is AB 379 is well known to a lot of people in the state of California, including the governor. And so it'd be hard to think the California Governor Gavin Newsom says, "Well, I need time to review this." Uh, because it's been so long, it's been years. Just to give an example, the Menendez brothers, right? So it's a hot topic of, should they be resentenced and in the amount of time that they served, they should be released. And again, we try not to get political on Voices for Voices. We try not to talk about these particular issues, but when it comes to the Menendez brothers, let's call it, let's say the last 2 years, uh, that this topic became a hot topic with the Netflix special, uh, and people were like, "Oh, well, maybe they were sexually abused by their parents. Well, does that make it right that they murdered their parents?" And because the law, when they were sentenced, didn't include certain elements, and so now some people in some circles are saying, "Well, we think they should be released. They've done their time and they should be released." And so that topic, again, let's just call it 2 years. I don't know how long, but it's been in the news heavily the last year, and it may have been in the news, 2 years ago. I'm not quite sure when this Netflix special came out. Doesn't matter to me, but it does for this case. And so I look at this Menendez topic, the Menendez brothers topic, and then I look at Assembly Bill 379, And from what I can see nationally, I don't live in the state of California. But again, I talked to a lot of people and quite a few, and DA Summer Stephan in San Diego County, one of the biggest counties, jurisdictions, not only in the state of California, but in the entire United States. And so when she says that this bill, or yeah, this Assembly Bill 379 has been sitting on California Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for several years and nothing. And then we look at the Menendez brothers, which is a hot topic, Netflix special, gets attention. Uh, and it seems like there's more action on that, on the Menendez brothers, and that they should be able to be back in society, that they're not a risk, and all these other things. And so first, I would ask California Governor Gavin Newsom, where are your priorities? What makes two brothers who committed crimes, who are convicted of crimes, what makes how to handle that, how to how to how much time you're putting into that as governor versus Assembly Bill 379, which again essentially has been sitting on your desk, Mr. Governor of California Gavin Newsom, for years. And so those two things, when I look at the timing, the Menendez brothers, that this topic, and I look at the timing and the time that Assembly Bill 379 has been sitting on your desk and you haven't done a damn thing. And I don't like to swear. I don't like to um, speak like that. But I've had it. I've had it with this. I've had it with people like yourself, with all due respect, California Governor Gavin Newsom, sitting in a place of power, or standing, sitting, but being in a place of power and where you can truly make a big difference and truly help people. And you haven't done a damn thing to do that because you just let Assembly Bill 379 just sit on your desk. When you come into work each day, do you see it? Are you reminded of it every day? Or do you have it in like you have it stored away somewhere with the like uh in the pile of, well, we're not going to sign this. So first, right, you need a pen. So we're trying to help you there, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Let's get, we're asking your staff or yourself to find a pen that's working. And if you need to practice writing your signature on blank paper, maybe you haven't signed your name a lot. We do a lot of things electronically these days. So maybe you need to practice signing in your name, giving an autograph. Maybe it's been a minute. So go ahead, do some practicing. You got the new pen or pens, and then you go to wherever Assembly Bill 379 is sitting. You call a press conference and you talk a little bit about what Assembly Bill 379 is to the press. And then you have a little sign, not little, you have a big signing event, and you can literally be a hero by doing this. But you haven't. the Menendez brothers, that's more important to you than strengthening the buying and selling of human beings, of making that a misdemeanor to now a felony. And we can think of this, right? If a person does not come out, right, there's two sides of an issue. There's yes and no, this or that, whatever you want to refer to uh, this particular example. So Assembly Bill 379, you really have two options, right? And you've had two options for years. And those two options are to sign it and have that go into effect, or to not sign it and just let the law be what the law is, make continue making the buying and selling of human beings in your state a misdemeanor. So we think of, okay, well, 1 year, okay, maybe it takes a year to review everything. Okay, I'll give you that. 2 years, okay, you're now getting more and more information, formulating your thoughts, you're talking with your staff, your administration. But when it gets to year 3 and more, and you haven't done a damn thing about it, and you just let that sit, that's you saying it's okay. It's okay in my state. It's okay in my state for people to buy and sell human beings, especially minors under the age of 18. And so you're making your choice. Now you could think and say, well, I haven't made a position. Well, yes, you have. Yes, you have. You're you know better. So if you're not for it, then you're against it. Straight up, full stop. And so I want to know why. Why? Why is this okay? You can't say you didn't know about this. And oh, again, 1 year, 2 years, mm, anything past that, you're you're agreeing and saying, well, the laws we have on the books are quite fine how they are as they relate to buying and selling of human beings, human trafficking, sex trafficking, labor trafficking, any trafficking. Like District Attorney Summer Stephan, San Diego County said, just like buying and selling a piece of pizza or a hamburger or a veggie burger. So we want to know why. We want a public statement, Mr. California Governor Gavin Newsom. Where do you stand on Assembly Bill 379? And why haven't you made it a priority? It is it's sitting on your desk. And so I already solved the problems. You get a pen that works. So if you don't have one at work, understandable. Have your staffers maybe go to the store, buy several pens, test them out, bring them to your office, have a blank piece of paper, and if you forgot how to sign your name, you can practice, and then you can get a Assembly Bill 379 and you can sign and date it at a press conference, and you can look like a hero. So that's what we're asking for. And also, California Governor Gavin Newsom, we are extending a uh, an invitation to be a guest on a future episode of our Voices for Voices show, where we can have that discussion. We can have that further dialogue to understand your point of view, why this bill has not been signed, Assembly Bill 379 has not been signed, why it's been there for so many years, why valuing a human being is not important to you, as the Menendez brothers situation. And so we have that open invitation. So you just let us know. You reach out, have a staffer reach out, we'll get your availability and we'll make it happen. So that's first. And then secondly, I'll be more than happy to come on your podcast. If this is Gavin Newsom podcast, I'll fly out. I'll be a guest on your show. And we'll have a discussion on your show. And so that way, everybody knows, everybody in the state of California knows, uh, in any other national ambitions of running for president of the United States in the future, uh, so people can just understand your thought process. I think it's healthy to have a dialogue, and it'll be a professional discussion. We're not going to call anybody names. We're going to just have just a professional discussion about Assembly Bill 379 and your stance on it and why it hasn't been a priority for years, but yet the Menendez brothers has been. So let's make it happen. California Governor Gavin Newsom, we gave the floor, we gave the show to San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan, and we like to give you that same opportunity. And then again, I'll reciprocate that and come on your show and we can have continue that discussion. I think it's healthy for uh, citizens, individuals of California, because you say, right, your hashtag is California for all. So it kind of seems to me that all of California has agreed that Assembly Bill 379 is the right way forward in this topic, but there's one person that has not, and that's you. So let's have that discussion. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this episode of the Voices for Voices show. I'm the host, founder of Voices for Voices, Justin Allen Hayes. And again, we thank you for your love and support for us, for the show, and we look forward to the feedback from California Governor Gavin Newsom and his team on this. And uh, as I like to say, let's make it happen. So we'll see you next time, everybody.